Right. So, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our weekend with expert sessions. It's been almost 1.5 years. We had actually kept this on hold for some busy schedules. So from now on, we'll have every weekend some new topics, some high-end topics where we'll do some lot of R&Ds and see that what actually is required for the industry. So before we start today's session, let me just brief out about our weekend with experts, because I think most of you have not attended these sessions or you don't know about this weekend with experts. So this weekend with experts program, what actually we do is we actually try to, collect some topics which are actually required in the industry and which people actually feel that it's very difficult to work or it's a very complex job or something, complex work or task. So we try to make it more simple so that people will actually feel that even the difficult task is actually easy to do. Okay, so that is the motto of Weekend with Experts. So there will be topics where it will continue, say on Saturday and Sunday as well, or there might be some topics which will be conducted only on Saturday and the new topic will be on Sunday. So it depends on the topics. Okay. So this weekend with experts will be there on every weekend, that is Saturdays and Sundays from today. Suppose, okay, there might be some other commitments. So at that time, you might not have the weekend with experts program. At that time, we will inform you in advance. Okay, there is a WhatsApp group where you can be in that WhatsApp group. You'll be getting a lot of uh, books, tips and tricks, all these things, and also like um, uh, this, whatever the group you have, this will be permanent. Say every time you don't have to register. This is like one time weekend with experts. It's like a community where there'll be a lot of people joining, and we'll be teaching you a lot of interesting things in this. Okay, and again, this is completely free. You don't have to pay anything. But people who attend the sessions, they'll have some benefits that I'll tell you in the end. Only for people who attend, but the videos are shared for everyone. So if you think that I'm not able to come, I'll attend. I'll check with the videos. Yes, you will get the videos. The thing is, like, you'll not get some benefits. That I'll tell you what all things you'll be getting. There'll be a lot of books which might cost you around 2,000, 3,000 rupees, which I have paid and I purchased, but I'll be giving it, the complete set of files for you completely free. Okay, you don't have to purchase that. Now, sometimes I might actually give you some tips and tricks on how to actually get into jobs or something. So there are a lot of things which we'll be discussing. So who attends, okay, live, for them, there'll be a lot of benefits. The same benefits will not be given for people who actually watch only videos. Okay. So weekend with experts will be every weekend, and you'll gain a lot of knowledge. And also we have the flexibility where you people can send us the topic. Say, for example, now there is one topic, there is one project, you are working on some task. You're not able to finish that task, or you are facing a lot of problems in that. Please do send that topic. We will do some R&D on that. We'll see how easily we can help you out in solving that problem as well. Okay, so let it be some relevant topics so that we can also do some R&D on that, and then we can come out with the solutions. Okay, so it is completely free. We want this to be a very big community where we can actually discuss, and not only about the skills, it should also go to an extent where people should get 100% job, 100% the required skills. So this is what our motto is. We actually started this. We had a very good response, but because of the hectic schedules, we had to keep it on hold. But now we have dedicated time only for this weekend with experts. So we're not taking any other classes at this time going forward. But suppose we have any personal commitment on Saturdays and Sundays, we might not take, that will be informed in advance. Okay, so this is all about weekend with experts. So before I start today's topic, if you guys have anything to mention, okay, please, I'll give you 2 minutes of time. Please mention that so that I'll just understand, and we'll begin our topics today. So how do you feel about this program, what we have actually planned? And this is like our second edition, we can say. How do you people feel about this plan, what we have done? Okay, please feel free. I want all of you to answer. We are just 14 or 15 as of now. So I want all of you, please come out with your suggestions, or what you feel about this weekend with the experts program. I want your opinion. I'll give you 2 minutes. After that, I'll start the session. Thank you, Pinto. Helpful. Okay. People, please, you can participate. Okay, don't feel that why should I actually do that. So everyone should participate. See, when you actually come out, we'll also get some knowledge, or we'll also feel that, okay, this is what we have to do, this is what we should not do. Okay, thank you, Manjula, it's very useful for us. Thank you, sir, for sure. Manjula, I will promise that whatever is possible from our end, we'll surely do it. Okay. Bharat, thank you, Bharat. Very valuable, very good. So we'll make sure that the right knowledge is actually delivered in this weekend with experts and people. All of you, okay, please be active. Why I'm telling is, you just come here, just you think that okay, it is something free. We'll just get some videos or something. Don't do that. That's really waste of time. I'll tell you, whatever webinars you attend. See, I think most of you actually know. I think Pintu knows me. Bharat knows me. Some of you actually know. I think Manjula also knows me. We actually do this from our heart so that people will actually get some knowledge. Okay, because you guys have you would have attended so many webinars. Okay. Sai, yeah. I really great looking more to get. Sure, Sai. Okay. So you guys have attended so many webinars. You know what happens? They actually go with only 30% knowledge and 70% sales. So we also do sales. I'm not telling that we are something, we only give knowledge or something, but we actually keep that at least 75%, 80% of knowledge with 20% of sales that is again left to you. How actually you can go with that sales. Okay. That I'll keep it apart, but always we concentrate on the skills which is really required. Okay, and thank you so much for all of you who have messaged. This will actually give us more encouragement. Okay, and this will continue. This weekend with experts will continue. Again, I'm telling you, this will be live class, and also the videos will be provided, but people who attend live, they will surely get something which will benefit for you people. Okay, right. So all of you, sir, any job guarantee program from yours in data analytics field? Aditya, I'll speak about this job thing, but I'll tell you one thing very frankly, there cannot be any job guarantee program anywhere. Okay, please keep this in mind. Why I'm telling is people actually make you fool out of it. But I'll tell you, if you really have skill sets, I can challenge you that you can get the job. Okay, please, again, people, I always tell in every of my class, whatever I can do, what I can do is I can give you the skill sets. Suppose we have a team where we have, a team for placement. For sure, we'll try and see what references we can give, how actually we can help you get the job. Okay, but there is no such job guarantee programs. If anybody is telling that, please verify that and then join. Okay, because there are so many people who come to me and say that we have lost a lot of money. So I request all of you, please concentrate on the skill sets about the job. Whatever is possible from my side, whatever is possible from our team side, I will surely try to help you people. But I'll see, I'll not promise anyone that I'll get you a job. And there is no job guaranteed program as well. Okay. Aditya, I think I answered you practically. Aditya, you're there? Concentrate on skills, people. I'll tell you 100% you will get job. That is what guarantee I can give. What do you say, others? Will you agree with me? Do you agree with me? What I said? Yeah. Right. But be positive. Okay. You will get job. That is one guarantee I can give. But I'll not say that I'll not guarantee saying that I'll guarantee I'll get you a job. I'll say that you will get a job. That one guarantee I can give. Okay. Right, people. So let's go with the topic. Okay. Right. So all of you, please concentrate. When I ask some questions, you can answer. Otherwise, you can just concentrate here. Okay. Right. So people, welcome to this weekend with experts program. And the topic is starting techniques using MS Excel. So the starting techniques, before going to this, a lot of advanced techniques, first let's understand about the foundation, the basic of what is chart and why it is actually used, what all things we have to do before, creating charts. All right. The topics what you'll be, we'll be covering in this is we'll go with some introduction, then we'll see some basic charts. In that, I'll teach you about some elements, and we'll also learn how actually we can format the elements, and we'll see how we can actually select the best charts, what is the relevant charts we should select. Then we'll also see what are the uses of different charts. Then what we'll do is we'll see how to create advanced charts, dynamic charts. Also, I'll be giving you some tips and tricks on how to actually clean, to have a very clean chart, or how to actually create a very nice presentable charts. Okay, there are a lot of things. Apart from this, also I have a lot of things to discuss. So since it's too many topics, I just didn't want to put all the topics here, just put only the main topics. Okay, right. The first thing is we'll understand what is a chart. Okay, so most of them actually feel that chart means what? We'll just select the data, we'll get some chart in Excel, insert, done. Don't do that. Let me first explain about what is a chart. Chart is a visual representation of the data or information. Data or information. That means I have a data. I want to show that visually, such a way that it is very easy to understand. Okay, typically it is presented in a graphical format. Let me give an example. If you just see the chart, the cricket match. Okay, if you go and see the cricket match 10 years back, we used to have only the scores, the numbers. But you see now, especially in IPL matches and all, you'd have seen a lot of charts coming up. There will be players playing, and you can see that there is one, the number coming on the ground, a very big number. Say it can be about the score, it can be about the overs or wickets or something. Then suddenly you can see a man standing, and you can see some charts coming up, or you can see two teams comparisons. So all these are actually done so that it is easy for people to understand within seconds and easy. To that purpose, the charts are becoming more popular. Nowadays, if you see, data analytics, Power BI, or these kind of tools, data visualization, these kind of jobs are becoming more and more because people are actually expecting something, simple things to understand. Say the complex data to be understood in very simple things. So no one has got time to sit and understand things. They just have to see, they should get the reports immediately, or say, the entire data, whatever is there, which is complex to understand, could be understood in a very easy manner within few seconds. So that is why charts, which is nothing but the visual representation, is becoming more popular. Charts can be used to summarize, analyze, communicate complex data in a way that is easy to understand and interpret. So that's what I was telling. So any complex data, no one has got time to go analyze, study that, and then, take the decision. The managers or the top management, whatever is there, they just want to see the output, the final results, and then take the decision. That's all. So for that, there are so many people who are there who are called as data engineers, data scientists, or say data analysts, who work a lot of, they'll put a lot of efforts on this data, and then they'll bring the output that is called as visualization in front, so that the managers or any others who are there in the top management can easily take the decision. So chart is nothing but I have a raw data which can be presented in a very simple visual manner. That's all. Okay. All right. We'll work on the charts. I'll tell you, there are a lot of interesting things to learn. Okay. All right. Different type of charts, what we have in Excel. So I'm actually talking only about Excel now. The charts which are available in Excel. So there are some plans to teach you people on Power BI also in the coming sessions. Okay. So what are charts we have? We have column chart, we have bar chart, we have line chart, we have pie chart, donut, area, XY, bubble chart, stock chart, surface, radar chart, tree map, sunburst, histogram, box and whisker, waterfall, funnel, combo, and map chart. So these are the charts which are available in Excel. And again, we can see that there are so many different charts. You might be thinking which chart actually I should use. I'll tell you which chart actually you should use for the data what you have. The study of the data is very important for deciding what kind of charts we're actually trying to create. Okay. All right. So these are different type of charts what we have. All right. Now let's see what is charting techniques. So we understood what is chart. We also saw different type of charts. Now, what is charting techniques? Let me just tell you the technique where the plan, or the way what we actually people, I request, any of the request or something, please do not type now. It will actually disturb. Okay. I'll tell you I'll tell you to message at that time you message. Okay. It's a request for all of you. Please concentrate on today's topic. Okay. For sure, all your topics, whatever is there, you can mention what topics you need. For sure, we'll try to take that topics as well. But please do not message, which will actually disturb others as well. So I will give time. And I promise that today is the first session. So I'll speak to you people, a lot of things to discuss, and then only we'll close the session. Don't worry. Okay. Right. Sorry. Charting techniques. See, when I have a data, I want to show the data in a very easy manner, that is in a pictorial representation. The ideas, the plan, the techniques what we use to create a chart which makes people easily understand, that is called as charting techniques. There are hundreds, thousands of ways what we can actually show the charts. So we learn some of the very important ones, the complex ones, to make it more easy. Charting techniques refer to a set of methods for creating graphical representations or charts to present data or information visually. So I told you in a very simple way that the techniques, the plan, the ideas, what we actually implement to represent the data in a very simple visual way is called as charting techniques. Chart can help to communicate complex information in a clear and concise manner and are commonly used in business, finance, science, engineering, and other fields. There are so many other fields also. Wherever you feel that there is data, wherever you feel that you want to make people understand your data, these charts will come into picture. And the way what we actually show, the way how we can convince people, the way how we make people understand the complex data, that is called as charting techniques. There are so many complex techniques which I'll be showing you in a very simple way. Okay. All right. The next, charting techniques are important tool for visual communication. So what is visual communication? I was talking about the cricket match. If you see 10 years back, the score was actually completely numbers. But now if you see, it is completely like a visualization. So where you have a lot of things, if you want to see the comparison between the two teams, they'll put one line chart, team one and team two. You can easily know. So how did what was the how was the performance of team one? How was the performance of team two? So it's easy for us to understand. So that is called as visual communication. That is becoming more and more on demand. That's why people, I'll tell you, you can see now we are getting a lot of job openings for Power BI. So why? Because people are actually, they want the data to be shown in a very simple way, and that has to be prepared in very quick, say fast, say the speed, or the project should finish very soon, so that the client will actually, uh, get that data converted into charts very soon. Okay, and can help to make complex information more accessible and easier to understand. I told all these points, in a very simple way. So I just made a points. I'll be sharing this PPT with you so that you can also refer this for your further understanding. All right, let's create some basic charts. Okay, I actually don't go with all this more of theories. So what I'll do, I have some data which I'll be sharing it with you. You can also use that for working after this session. All the documents will be shared. Okay, right. Let me just minimize this. And then what we'll do is we'll open the Excel file where we can create the charts. Okay. All right. I know here most of the people are experienced. Most of the people are, already worked on charts, but there are some people who actually wants to learn from scratch. So I'll go from basics, and also I'll tell you some things which you can explore more and start working efficiently. Okay. All right. Now I'll ask everyone one simple question. How many of you have still not worked or say not created any chart in Excel? How many of them not created? You can message yes, no, anything. How many of you have not created? Very good. I think all of you have created. Okay, at least now. So how many of you have created? Let me see how many yes I'll get. How many of you have created? Very good, Aditya. Very good. Aditya is very fast, actually, very active. Bharat, Akila, Sai Teja, Pintu, Zamir, Ambika, Manjula. Good. I think almost all of you. Okay. Okay, Varalakshmi. Good. Almost all of us have worked on the charts. Okay. Prajwal. Okay. Thank you, all of you. Okay. Now let's stop. So everyone knows how to create chart. Everyone knows what is chart. What we'll do is we'll try to create some charts, some simple charts. Why I'm telling this is technically there are so many things to learn. So we might think that, okay, so I'll select some range, I'll select some data, then I'll go, I'll say insert, I'll insert one chart, done. It should not be like that. Let me just tell you a few technical things as well, which will help you in the reports what you actually create. Right. Simple charts. Let's create some simple charts. See this data. It's a very, very simple data. 4 regions, and I have the numbers here. When I'm creating the chart, what I'll do, I'll select this range and I'll say insert and I'll create the chart. But technically, there are a few things what you have to understand. What is that? Let me tell you. See, we have region here and we have sales here. The region, the data what we have here, this is in text. The sales, what we have, this is in numbers. So this region, what we say, this is called as entities, the labels. What we have sales, this is called a series. Technically, we call this a series, and these are the entities for creating the chart. Only with this label, we cannot create chart, but only with the numbers we can create chart. If we create a chart only by numbers, we'll get the bars or we'll get the pie chart or any chart we'll get, but we don't have the labels. Why labels are actually required is to recognize, to represent, to talk about what they say. For example, now I have this 5,01,240. Imagine if I say 5,01,240 and I don't know for which region it is, then that is missed. So any chart you create, you should have the labels, you should have the series as well, that is the values as well. In Tableau or in Power BI, we call this as dimension, we call this as measure. Okay, dimension nothing but the labels, measures are nothing but the values. Right? So let me select this to create the chart. You don't have to select the entire thing. Even if you are selecting this range anywhere, you can still create the chart. Go to this insert here. I have this charts. You can see that there is one group called as charts. If I click on this, say here I have one small arrow. We call it as dialog box launcher. I'll just click on this. You see, I'll get one window where I have all the charts. These are all the charts which I just spoke. I showed in one of the slides that the different charts what we have. Now what we'll do, we'll create one simple chart. It's a very simple chart. I know all of you know how to create that. We'll go here. We'll just create one chart, that is column chart. If you just see, there are so many different charts. I'll talk about when are we actually using all these charts. I just select this and I'll keep it here. See, very simple. I just selected. A chart is created. Now this chart, we think that, okay, this is enough. We can use this chart to represent the data. So my task is done. It should not be like that. Let me just tell you, there are a lot of things which we have to correct in this particular chart. What is that? Let me tell you. When I create a chart, this is by default, you'll get, this kind of representations or say chart, but we have to modify that. So before we modify, we should also know what are all this. There are so many elements in this. So what are elements now? So I'll tell you, elements are nothing but the objects what we have here. Just now, one of our friends in the group was telling that I want to learn VBA program. Say when you want to learn VBA programming, there are a lot of things what you have to also understand. What is that? Say here I have so many objects. There are so many objects, you have to learn about the hierarchy. So if you want to do that, if you know the objects, not only chart, I'm telling, any of the objects you have in Excel, if you understand the hierarchy of it, then programming also will become very easy. So now let's see the programming I said. I'm just telling you, there are so many objects in this one simple chart itself. What are those? Let's understand. We can see that when I select a chart, there are 3 boxes which are These are called as helper icons. We call it as helper icons. When I click here, I'll get these three different icons. So what are this? First, this one is the chart element. See, if you are not able to, explore things, and if you don't know what it is, what you do is a simple thing in MS Office applications. Select any of the objects. See, just move your cursor and leave it there. See, chart elements. What does it say? Add, remove, or change chart elements such as the title, legend, grid lines, and data label. So it is giving me the. You can easily understand. So this is called a screen tip, which will help us in understanding. See, I'll click on this. You can see that there are so many different elements. The chart elements are nothing but the objects what we have in the chart. Right, let me click outside. Again, I select this. See, this one. This is chart style. So what is chart style? Suppose if you think that I want to format the chart, let me click on this. You can see there are so many different styles. This will help us in changing the format of the chart very quickly. Very quickly we can do that. Let me click outside. Let me select this. Now, suppose if you think that I want to filter the data, click on this filter. See, this is filter. Say this is chart filters. You have this, say, series and categories. I can go here. Suppose you think that I want only central, only east, like this. And I'll say apply. See, I'll have only central and east. So likewise, we can actually filter the, the values also here, the series also here. So these three helper icons will actually help us in, modifying or adding or changing the look and feel of this particular chart. Right. Let me talk about different elements what we have. If I click here, I have so many different elements here. We'll come to this later. The default chart when we create, what all elements will get that we'll see. First thing, you can see that I have this chart title. The chart title actually represents the title of the entire chart. All right, let me click outside. I'll select this chart. This is called as chart area. You can see that the entire thing, this is called as chart area. Let me click inside. Say I have this plot. I'll click on this. It's called as plot area, where we plot the chart. You can see that plot. Let me select this. This is actually vertical axis. Sorry, horizontal axis. I'm very sorry, it's horizontal axis. We also call it as x-axis. Let me click here. This is called as vertical axis or y-axis. This is another object you can see. This is called as series. This one, I told you, this sales. Let me click on this lines. What we have is called as grid lines. These are the default elements what we get when we create a chart. All right, let me click outside. Now, suppose if you think I want to add more elements which are not there here, then I'll use my helper icons. I'll click on this. You can see that there are so many options. Let me talk about this one by one. Axis. If you click on the small arrow, wherever you find this arrow, that means there are more options. So let me click on this. See, primary horizontal, primary vertical. If you don't want, see, you can see that the horizontal labels are gone. The axis values are gone. See, you don't want both. You can just uncheck this. We can play around with that to explore more, to understand more. Now I have the object that is x-axis and y-axis, but I don't know what these charts are actually talking about. What are these values? What is this? If you want to do that, I'll go here. See, I have this axis title. Just click on this. See, I'll get the axis title. I can change the axis title. See, I'll go here. I'll say country or say region. Select this axis title, and then I will change this to say this. See, like this is very important. Why? Because we don't know what this is actually. We don't know what this is talking about, whether it's sales or profit or what. Let me click on this. See here, I have this chart title already. The chart title is there. If you think I want to keep this chart title, you can keep it. Otherwise, you can ignore it. People, I'll tell you this option, what I'm showing. If anybody of you are preparing for your Microsoft MO 200 examination, there is a question on this chart title. You know, what is the question? It will ask, say, this chart title should be above the chart. Okay, it says above the, so we have to fix the chart title above the chart. So the question is fix chart title above the chart. So, you know, there are so many questions on this itself. If you want to have center overlaid, see like this center, okay. And if you think that you want more options, you can go here. There are more options. I'll tell you this about when you come to this format. Data labels. I'll click on this thing. I'll get the data labels here. Data table. If you think I want this table to be in the chart itself, see. Error bars. If you think you need some error bars. Grid lines. Usually we should not keep this grid line. You know, it will be disturbing, or you have to reduce the color of this, or say, you know, it should fade that so that this will not disturb much. So I can remove this grid lines. It will be like plain. Legend. So in this case, I have only one series, so legends are not required. This legend is nothing but a small icon which will describe the series. Trend line. So how the trend is going on. So you can keep that as well. So these are the chart elements what we have in any of the charts. All right, let's go to another chart and see. Now what we created is the column chart. If you want to remove all the, you know, the elements, I don't want, I'll remove all this. So I'll have a chart. This is the column chart. And I created this column chart when I have only one series. So whenever I have this one series, I could easily create this column chart. Let's go to another one and we'll create one more chart. See the data here. The same thing, what we had here, that has been scattered, but here I have this region in column wise. And I have some you know, categories in say, you know, the row wise. Now, if you see this data, see there's a lot of difference between this data and this data. This is like a matrix. I had only one series. Now I have more series here. These are called as more series. There are 4 series. So what I'll do, I'll select this. I can create a chart. I'll go here, say insert. Again, I'll create a column chart. See, I created a column chart, but this time we have different series. That is, see, you can see that central, east, south, west. These are all different series. I was talking about the legend. See, the legend, a small description where it describes the series here like this. Suppose now you think that I have a chart which is actually talking about the regions. I want this region to be as a bars. Just go to this in this chart design. You can see that it says switch row to column. Click on this. See. Now all the regions of, you know, become like a bars here like this. So you can change this. Switch rows to column, columns to rows like this. Usually what we do is these kind of charts, we don't create column charts because it is little difficult to, this is complex to understand. So what we'll do, select this, insert, and here I have this stacked chart. See, so what are stacked chart? Stacked chart are nothing but the same chart, whatever we have here. It will give me the total, but we can also see the breakup here. See, like this. So here also we have the grid line. If you go here, I have 3 helper icons. So all the objects are available here. That is, the elements are available here. You can apply them. All right, we'll go to the next chart. Just see the data here. People, why I'm actually showing all this is you should understand when to create what kind of charts. Let me select this. I'll go here, insert, and say column chart. You just observe. I've seen people, you know, just blindly they'll create the chart. Never do this. I'll tell you why. Because if you see this chart, you can see the data is not properly readable. So what should I do in this case? That's why studying of the data is very, very important. That's what I was telling. The data, whatever is there, that has to be represented, that has to be shown to the client, or say, that has to be shown to the people in a very simple manner. If you have, see, these are the entities. If you feel that there are more entities, here you can see how many entities are there. There are 17 entities, the items. If you have anything like this, more than say 7, 8, go select and say insert, create bar chart. Like this. Now you might ask, what is the difference between creating bar chart and the column chart? When I created the column chart, first thing, we were not able to read it proper. But if you see this one, I created a bar chart, which is very easy for me to read the data. Main thing I'll tell you people, when you create a chart or you format a table, make sure that the data is readable. Just blindly don't create the chart just because you have to create the chart. See, now it is readable. We can still format. I'll tell you when it comes, we'll have a separate topic on how to format the chart. But keep in mind, whenever you are creating a chart, make sure that you'll study the data and see how easily I can actually represent visually. Let's go to another chart. See this. Now here we had, say, here we had 4 series. I created the column chart, or say stacked chart. Just go here and see. Now you can see there are how many? 12 series. Now you just think, I'll create one column chart. I'm just showing you what are problems you might face or how awkward it looks like just blindly creating a chart. See, I'll create the chart. If you see, it is very difficult for us to, understand this, analyze this, or at least to take some decision. It is difficult. I will not go with this chart. Whenever you feel we have some data, okay, with more series, but they are with the timeline or say time series, the time series, then please create line chart or area chart also will do. See, line chart actually speaks about the flow. I had given on, I was taking one interview. So one person, what he has done is he has selected this, insert, and he has created a line chart like this. People, you just observe, when I'm actually creating a chart, there should be some meaning in it. If you see this chart, it's a line chart, you can see from January to December, I'm just taking how is the trend. But if you see this chart, there is no meaning. See, it is saying central, then east, then south, and west. What are we actually speaking? This has got no meaning at all. So blindly don't create the chart. If you go and check this, see, I have created the chart here so that from January to December, I want to understand, say central. Where is that central? Okay, it's a blue one, this one, see. We can see how the flow is actually. Just don't blindly take some, select the data and then create the chart. Now, even while sometimes creating a line chart will become very complex to understand because there will be more lines as well. What should I do? Let me go here. Here, I'll create some charts. Miniature charts, which is for only this row. I'll have one chart. Only for this row, you create one chart. We call it as spark lines. Exactly what we have here. Similarly, the same lines can be created here as well. Let me go here. I'll select only these numbers. Please do not select the headings. Select only these numbers. Go to this insert, and here I have the spark lines. You have this line chart. It lasts for location range. Select here and say okay. And people, this is also a say the MS Excel certification question. Okay, so keeping everything in mind, I have prepared this, the notes or say the files. Okay, so if you are actually writing the exam, so these things only will come, so you can easily write the exam as well. That's why whenever I feel that there are some topics which are there in that exam, I'll be keep telling one, you can make a note of it. Okay, good. Now I created one chart. If you see this, the same chart, if you go to the central, let me just hide. I'll just say sorry, I'll take only central. You just see apply. Okay. Now you see this chart, what you have here. This is what central. See, it's the same thing here also. You select. See, the chart, whatever you see here, is same chart here also, but here we call it as in-cell chart or spark lines, which will give me the chart for only these rows like this. Okay, these are spark lines. Likewise, there are so many charts. So one by one, I'll be keep discussing. Just now we saw this data here. It's the same data here also. What kind of charts I can actually create now? Say I have something called as pie chart. Okay, let me click on this thing. I can create pie chart. Pie charts are actually created when you have only one series. When you have more than one series, still we can create column chart, bar chart, but we cannot create pie chart. Okay, so these are some of the basic charts. I'll come back to this with formatting as well. There are a lot of things to discuss on formatting. Most of you people, you might think that, okay, this is very simple data. I'll just select and my task is done. No, a lot of formatting things also you should actually keep in mind. A lot of things, not only with the labels, but also with the number formatting. A lot of things are there. I'll discuss one by one. Okay, so this is how you can actually create the chart. This is how you have to decide, the data I have. This is how you should actually decide. Okay, I have this data. So what kind of charts I have to create? Next, I'll be discussing about that as well. So when you have the data, what kind of data, what kind of charts you have to create? Okay, all right. So before that, let me just take 1 minute of yours. How are you feeling about this session, about the charts? Now, I know you guys have already created chart, but do you think these things are useful? Very good. Bharat, Aditya, they are very active. Before I ask the question, I think they'll have the answers ready. But people, sometimes I feel when you have less people, it's more good to interact as well. Prajwal, Akila, good. Right. Okay. So people, the reason why I keep asking these kind of questions is, we'll know that whether you guys are feeling it like, it's useful for you, you're attentive, or if it is like boring, so what actually we can do something more. So that's why we keep asking these kind of questions. So make sure that, you'll be attentive, because see, people, I don't know, you might get this kind of knowledge in YouTube or, so many other things, but you will get a chance to interact with me as well if you have any doubts. So make use of these things. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you for all of you who have answered. Now, I'll keep this file open. I'll just keep this aside. We'll come back to this when we actually try to format. Right. So we created the basic charts. We understood there are different charts. Now we'll see what kind of charts we have to create. The right charts. Okay. The right charts. Choosing the right chart type for your data is crucial to effectively communicate your message to your audience. Okay. Whenever I'm actually trying to choose a chart, it is very difficult for us whether I should create column chart, whether I should create pie chart, whether I should create a bar chart. Okay. There are so many questions which will actually arise. Why? Because, there are a lot of data. If I represent the data in column chart, the client might get confused. If I put that in column chart, there are some people who might say the pie chart, they might get confused. So we ourselves will get confused. So what we have to do, we have to think the easiest way to represent the data. Choosing the right chart to represent your data depends on the characteristics of the data and the story you want to tell. So I was telling you, when you study the data and whatever is there in your mind to explain, okay, you have to put that visually. Now, let's say, for example, I have a novel which is around some 600 to 700 pages. And imagine if you want to read the entire thing. First few pages we'll read and then we'll get bored. It's very difficult for some of them to read the entire novel. For the same novel, if you convert that into a movie with a lot of visualizations, with a lot of visual effects, music, songs, that makes people to understand more easily. That is what we actually do when we study the data. The data what we get is something like a book where we have things written, which is very difficult to read, very difficult to analyze, memorize it, or say picturize it. But the same thing, if that is there visually, like a movie, it is very easy for us to understand the entire story of that particular, say, novel. So that's why when you get the data, you should make sure that you'll read that data, okay, and convert that into, a very good, say, we call it as visualization or say dashboard or template or whatever. Okay, some tips. Okay, here are some tips how to choose the chart type depending on the data. Now, what I'm telling you is, all this time we created some 5 to 6 charts. We just saw the data and we just created it was a very basic chart. But when you read the data, what kind of data, what kind of charts have to create, that I'll explain you. Say, first of all, let's say we have categorical data. If you have a categorical data such as the product categories, survey response, or say there are some countries data, okay, different countries data, you can use charts such as bar charts, column charts, pie charts. Why? Because you have the data which is categorized. So you saw that there were categorized, say, regions. Okay, then again we saw one categories, that is office supplies, technologies or something like that. So whenever you see that there are some data which are categorized, then I can go for bar chart, column chart, or pie chart. Just now we saw that. Bar and columns are useful for comparing the size of categories, while pie charts are used for showing the proportions of the categories. See, it's very easily understandable. When you see that, if the comparison, what you're doing is based on the size of the categories, then go for bar and say column chart. Suppose if you think that I want to have a proportion, say for example, I have 4 regions. In that I have the region 1 as 10, then region 2 as 20, then 30 and 40. That is 100%. That we're actually trying to give some proportions. Say for example, 10% for one region, 10% for 20% for another region, like that. We're actually distributing. That is, depending on the proportions, we can actually create the chart. Right? So chart type, use a bar chart or column chart to compare categories, or pie chart to show the proportions. Usually the pie chart will be categorized, or say the charts are created based on the percentage. Time series. Just now I showed you the line charts, right? Time series means if you have data that is collected over time, such as stock prices or website traffic, you can use charts like line charts, area charts, or candlestick charts. Line charts are useful for showing trends over time. See, I told you, January to December, there is a trend. I created line chart. If I create column chart, chart will get created, but how to make it understand, that is important. While area charts can be used to show changes in the total over time, candlestick charts are useful for visually. That is for stock market. If someone is from stock market, then they can use the candlestick. That we have that box and whisker kind of charts, so that we have this candlestick charts, something similar to that. Chart type, we can use line chart to show trends over time, area chart to show the changes in the total over time. Relationship data. Relationship means, say, we have some different variables, say x-axis and y-axis, both are actually numbers. So I'm trying to compare the sales and profit. If you want to show something like that, then we have XY scatters, bubble chart. So if you have data that shows the relationship between two or more variables, such as correlation between height and weight, you can use the chart such as XY scatter plot or bubble chart. XY scatter is only X and Y axis. Bubble chart will have Z axis, that is, we call it as size. Scatter plots are useful for showing the relationship between two continuous variables. Well, bubble charts can be used to show three variables. I told you, right? It'll have Z axis as well, such as the size of the bubble representing the third variable. The charts, we have two type of charts. One is XY scatter plot that show the relationship between two variables. Bubble chart to show three variables. That is, it will show the relationship between two variables. Along with that, it will also show the size as well. All right. Distribution of the data. Okay. Now, what is distribution? Let me just tell you. Say what happens. Let's say I am actually creating one report. The report is all about the patients. Now, when I say patients, the patients can be from age 0, that is kids, a baby, to 100 years as well. Now, when the data is collected, we say in the data, there is a column called as age. When I say age, they'll not say age between 30 to 40, 40 to 50. They'll not collect the age like that. The age column will say 38 years, say 5 years, 3 years, or say, 80 years. So that is how actually we can, that is how the data has been collected. So they'll not categorize and then collect the data saying that 0 to 10, this person is 0 to 10 year age category. No, we'll not do that. So the data, what is collected like this. And if you want to actually distribute that between some buckets or say groups, that we call it, for that kind of charts, that kind of representation, if you want to create, then we have something called as histogram chart or box plot chart. If you have data that is distributed in certain way, such as frequency of different test scores or scales, amounts, you can use the chart such as histograms or box. I told you, that if you are actually trying to categorize, say for example, now I have some points. I have to distribute that depending on the scores. Say 1, if that 1, that means the, if I say the rating 1, the score should be from 0 to 100. The rating is 2, then again it should be from 100 to 500. So we are actually categorizing, we are trying to distribute the data. So in that case, we actually use this histogram. So histograms are useful when you want to show the frequency of the data values, while box plots can be used to show the distribution of the data values, including median and outliers. Comparison. So this is the default chart many of them actually create. What is that? Say, if you have the data that you want to compare, such as different products or region, just now we compared the regions. You can use charts such as stacked bar charts or radar charts. Stacked bar charts are useful for showing how different categories contribute to the whole, while radar charts are useful for comparing multiple variables across different categories. Okay, so you can use this comparison data. We can use stacked bar charts, or you can also use column charts. You can also use, say, bar chart, column chart, or 100% stack chart. So anything you can actually use. That is to compare the data. Okay. So this choosing of the right chart, that is, choosing the right chart depends on the characteristics of the data. Okay. The story you want to tell the people or say the client. Consider the type of data you have, what story you want to tell, and how you want your audience to interpret your data when selecting the right chart type. That means I have some data. You saw that I created some 5 different charts wherein I studied the data, understood the data, and then I created the chart. Okay. Right. Next, I have these tips. I'll tell you this, and then we'll go for formatting and follow all these tips what has been given for formatting the charts. Keeping your chart clean and clutter-free can help ensure that your audience can easily understand the information you are presenting. When you're actually presenting the data, make sure that your chart, okay, is clean, simple, and understandable. Okay, let's go and see one by one. Limit the number of data series. So what happens? We want to show some data. So I'll have the data series say 10, 20. You know what happens? The data will become, the chart will become more congested. Okay. Including too many data series in your chart can make it difficult to read and understand. Instead, try to limit the number of series to 3 or 4. What happens if I have more than 4 or say more than 5? Don't worry. For that, we have some filters what we can apply so that only that data which we want to see at that particular point, we can use the filter and filter the data and see only data which is required at that point. Okay, so limit the data. Remove unnecessary grid lines. I think I mentioned this a few minutes back when we are actually creating the chart. Grid lines can be distracting. Make your chart look cluttered. Okay, that is a element, which actually occupies some space. So instead of that, just remove that. Consider removing them if they are not necessary to help focus your audience attention on the data to the other. Use a clean and simple chart layout. It should be very simple. Avoid using complicated chart layout as this can make it difficult to your audience to understand the data. Instead, use a clean and simple layout that is easy to read. Okay, right. Align labels in right manner. I showed you this as well. When I created a column chart, it was actually slanting 45 degrees, which is not correct. Your client, he has to go, he has to bend his head here like this and like this, and he has to check that. Never do that. Create column chart, that's all, so that you'll get enough space to display the labels. Remove unnecessary elements. Some people have seen, they'll keep what is that data table or the labels which is not required. So don't do that. Say remove any unnecessary elements like legend, chart titles, or labels that don't add value to the chart. So which is not required, please remove it. Use a clear font. I always use Arial. Use a clear and legible font to your chart title and labels. A font that is too small or difficult to read can make your chart look cluttered and confusing. So people, I always use Arial because I'll tell you why. Arial is a font which is standard. Okay, when you install this Microsoft, you'll get this standard, font, and this is available in every single system. So if I actually use some font which is like very fancy, I download from net, that will not work in others system unless and until they also install that say font. Okay, so please be very careful about the font. Keep it consistent. Ensure that your chart is consistent in terms of font size. It should be consistent. Color formatting. This will help make your chart look polished and professional. Sort the data. This is very important. When I'm creating some column chart, the data is not sorted. It looks very odd. So it's good to sort the data. So by using these tips, we can create and clean an effective chart that effectively communicates your data with your audience. Now, let me go back to the chart and I'll talk about how actually we can format. Okay. So keeping the chart clean, let's take this. Keeping the chart clean is very important. Right. So let's talk about what all things we can actually, use for formatting the chart. I have the chart. This is the chart area. Now, when I select this is the chart area. Now you have to decide what elements I need to format. Now, what we're doing is we're trying to learn how to format the charts. Today, I'll teach you only thing about the formatting, the basic charts or something. But tomorrow, I'll show you what you'll be learning in tomorrow's session. A very advanced way you can learn the charts. Right. So here I have created the chart. Now I selected this. If you think I want to format this chart area, right click. Here I have this chart area. I'll click on this chart area. I'll get one pan here like this. This is called as format chart area. This is a window. I have three options here. You can see that one is fill, other one is effects, and then we have the size and properties. Where is a fill? You can go here, you can say solid fill. See? So what is solid fill? This is nothing but this chart area. We're just trying to apply the formatting. Borderline. If you think I want to apply a borderline, I'll go here, see, and select one color. You can see there is a border here. Suppose if you think I want to give some effects, you can go here, you can see we can give the shadow effect also. Select. Size and properties. This is very important. I'll tell you one important thing here. I'll go to this size. I can resize this. But people, I have one property here. Say where I'm checking the properties. It says move and size with cells. Move and size means see. The chart is getting expanded. You can see that it's getting expanded like this. The object should not happen like this. So what should I do? So I'll go here. Here in the size and properties. In properties, I have this do not move or size. Now what happens here? If I'll increase, this object will not get resized. Okay. So in properties, make sure that you use this do not move or size with the cell, so that how much ever you increase the row or column or whatever, you don't have to bother. This will not get resized. This is formatting chart area. Plot area. Select this, right click and say format plot area. It's the same thing actually. Here also we have this solid line, the border, then we have this fill where I can go and fill the series or say the plot area. Here we have this patterns. Usually I'll keep it as no clean. That's a better idea. Right. Next, see here I have this y-axis where we have some numbers. Now I'll say right click and say format axis. Format axis, we need to format this. You can see that it says minimum 0. And you can see how much is this? It's 8 lakhs. Okay. So here from 0 to 8 lakhs by default it will take. Now can I make it 10 lakhs? Yes. See? We have the flexibility to change this value as well. 0 to. All right. So this is about this, the units. All right. Okay. If you want tick mark labels, just click on this. Minor type. Okay. Then we have the labels, label positions where it should be. And then we have this number. The number formatting. Here I have this 1000 separator. You can go here, you can select one of the favorite or say, one of the appropriate number formatting. All right. Now we understood about the plot area and the chart area. So here we have this chart title. We can also change the chart title. I'll tell you one thing. Most of the times what we actually do is we'll keep this chart title or we'll go here and say, let's say, for example, okay. So you guys need a break, all of you? You guys need a break? No. All right. Another, okay, people. No, let's not take a break. Another 20 minutes. Okay, we'll finish it off. Today, anyways, I have only the basic thing. Tomorrow we'll have, very nice session. Okay, just 20 minutes. We'll finish this session And then tomorrow we'll have a very advanced sessions. Okay. If you go to a break and again people will come, some people actually will feel bored and they'll go. Okay, we'll finish it off. Nothing much for today. Right. So here I have the chart title. Okay. Most of the people, I'll tell you what they do. They actually go here and they'll rename. Say for example, ITAS sales report. This is how they actually do. But I'll tell you one some tip actually. Take any cell. Say ITAS May 2023 sales. This is what I wanted. Or say like this sales report. May 20. Now this will keep changing. Say now it is May, again it will get changed to July. So June, July, it goes on like this. Every time I cannot go and keep changing the chart title here like this. Instead, what we can do is select this title equals and select here and set it. Now next month I just go here and I'll say so it is connected, it's linked or say referred. Similarly, I have access title over here. Say access titles. Here also we can use that. Say for example, I'll go here, I'll say region and I'll say sales. Select this access title, go to this formula bar, equals, and I'll select this. Select this access title, I'll say equals, and I'll select this things. Now suppose if you think that I want to change this, say country. I just change this to countries. Automatically it will change here. You don't have to go and do anything in the chart. Okay, so likewise, anything you can go and you can format it. Say the legend, you can see here, we can delete that or we can keep it. Okay. All right. So let me go to this. Now what we saw was how to format. You can select one object. Any object you select. Say I don't want this grid line. I can delete this. Again, if you want, I'll go here. I'll enable this. Like this. I'm going to this first chart. Again, one more MO200 MS Excel certification question. I'll tell you. Go to this chart design. It'll say, go and apply one of the chart style. So it'll the question will be apply. Let's say apply style 4. So I'll go here, see. And that predefined formatting will get applied to this. But this will not affect anything. So this is just format change. That's all. You can go, you can change anytime you want. Right? Okay, so this is chart style. But apart from that, here you can see there is something called as quick layout. This also is a question from MO200, that is Excel. So if you think you want to change the template here, so you can go and you can check this. Like this. So these are all some layouts which we already have. The quick layout, we can go here and we can select it. So in the question, it asked for apply layout 6. Okay, so any of the the charts visualization to be applied, apply it and then say see, you can see that the chart. This is like something like a histogram actually. Not a histogram, but something similar to histogram. Okay, right. Now suppose if you think I want to change the colors, you can see that. See. So this color will change according to your template. So I'll go here, I can select the template. Okay, so here we can change the colors to whichever color you want. Right. Now let's go to this chart. I was talking about the cleaning the tip. See here, the labels. Let me create one chart. Select, insert. I'll go here, I'll create one column chart. Just see. You have to go here and keep tilting like this. Okay. So don't do that. Go and create a bar chart. You can see that all the labels are also readable. Okay. Right. Let me delete this chart. Let me delete this. I will select this data after this. I will say insert and will insert a bar chart. So I've created chart only till here. Now, suppose if you think I want to create the chart till here, one is I can just drag it down like this. When I drag this, the range will increase. Otherwise, I'll go here, say chart, select this. And here we have the select data. Click on this select data. Here we can increase the size. Let's go and select this and we'll select the range. See now. So likewise, I can actually select the series that is till wherever the data is. Suppose if you think I want to change the chart, say for example, I have this chart selected, go to insert and sorry, you can go to this and say change chart type. See, you can change to any of these formats or say, you can change the chart type itself. Like this, we can actually. So likewise, I have a lot of things to format. If you think you want to format, just go select and say control one. You'll get one window and you can select according to your needs. Okay. Right. So these are some of the tips what we have, and this is completely the basic what we actually learned. So the formatting and things like that, I just showed you in the same chart. It's the same chart, but people tomorrow, okay, I'll show you what actually I'll be teaching, because if I actually start teaching you this advanced charts, I'll tell you it will be little confusing for the people. So I just started with some basic charts, keeping in mind, thinking that there are some people who will be coming, some students who actually, some of the students actually asked, they are joining. So for that reason, I just got this basic charts, but still, I feel that you guys understood and it was useful. Okay. So people now take 1 minute and tell me, was this basic, okay, let's say a basic chart session was useful for you? Quickly, I want you people to answer. Yes. Very good. I know it was a little basic, but still, I feel that it was useful for you people. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, okay. Now, let me show you what I'll be teaching you tomorrow. Okay. Let me just show you. Okay, so all right. Just see here. I'll just show you all the charts. All these charts I'll be teaching you how to work on this. Just observe this chart. It is called as percentage change chart. If you see here, if the sales, or say, if it is in profit, you can see it's in green. If it is in loss, it's in red. See, automatically this will get changed. You can see that they are actually getting changed depending on the data what it is. Next one, I'll show you how to actually create a progress chart. See, I have this 100%. Let's say, see, automatically the color will change when it comes to 72. Let me just do this. See. So I given 3 different colors here, depending on the progress. Color will also change. See. Like this. Interactive chart. Now I'll click on this thing. You can see that the data is getting filtered here. Right. Now you see, I'll click on the buttons. When I click on these buttons, that is yearly data. So you can see that the color also is getting changed here. Next. The same chart what you see here, the same chart, but here with the drop down. You select the C 2020. You select this 2023, it will highlight this. So if you want to highlight, and here we'll get the expanded, see, go here and check. We have 6,444. If I add up all this, you should get the same value. So likewise, we can actually have some drop down or some slicers to create this kind of charts. Right. Next is dynamic charts. That is by drop down. So this also I'll be teaching you. When I go and change the sectors, how the data will be keep changing depending on the selections. That I'll be teaching. Next, the same chart. Suppose if I had checked, say, the list box. Okay, see, here we have the drop down. Okay, so here we have the list box, but there we have the drop down. Option button. If I click on this, you can sales or profit in the same chart. Checkbox. Okay, so you can go, you can select. Scroll bar, see. You keep changing this, the bar will get changed. Dynamic selection, see, office supplies, furniture, technology. So how to create this chart? So it looks like a normal bar chart, but you can see that they're of different colors. Top sales. Suppose if you think that I want to calculate top sales, see, that means in that year, so which is the top sales which have been done. Right. Here I have something called as lollipop chart. This is something very similar to your column chart, but here it will compare the values. If it is, say, some percentage or something, it's just trying to compare like this. Next is dynamic chart. See, all quarters, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. And then we have this dynamic profit and share. Here you can see enable or disable the chart. So these are the charts which I'll be teaching you how to do. And these are all very simple. So these charts we'll be doing it tomorrow. Right? Okay. Now coming back to this presentation. Okay. All of you will get. Okay. Right. So how do you feel about the charts? The charts. You want to learn those kind of charts? Are you interested? All of you? People, are you interested? Yeah. It's a very simple one, actually. Once you start doing that, you feel that it's so simple, actually. Okay. So all those charts I'll be teaching you in detail. Okay. All right. Coming back to this presentation, people, whoever have attended, okay, only for those who have attended, you will be getting certificate of participation. Every week, we are giving certification for the topic what you guys are attending. That will be like with weekend with experts. I'll show you the sample as well. And this certificate of participation will be given only for the people who attend both the sessions. Can I share the Excel sheet for tomorrow's class? Yes, don't worry, Prajwal, it will be there in the app itself. I'll upload in the app so that you can download that and you can work on that. I'll put that, the presentation as well as the Excel file. That is prepared for you only, don't worry. Okay. Right. So to get this certificate, you have one link here. You just have to go here, click on this. Just a small form, actually. Your name, which has to be available in the certificate. That is how we should be visible on the certificate, and your email ID, so that we can post it. Or we have one folder wherein we'll dump all the say certificates there. You can search depending on your phone number or say your name or something. You can download. Okay, so this is the sample certificate. So here we'll have this weekend with experts. Then participant name. And you can see the course name, whatever you have attended. So the topic name on which date. So you can post this. What you can do is you can use LinkedIn. I'll always request people, if you are really working or somewhere, you're working somewhere, or if you're a student and still want to go for job or freshers, please start using say LinkedIn. That is very important. And again, this weekend's free gift. This I'll be giving it tomorrow only for those who actually attend 2 days. So I have one Excel Bible 2019. People who already have, this is a new version actually. What I have taken. This is not just only PDF. I have the entire supporting files as well. Okay, so I'll be giving you this. But for that, what I want you people to do is go to your LinkedIn, take this certificate and post it. And I want you guys to tell about this webinar, what you attended. Okay, just 2 lines, or say, if you want to put more lines so that others also can be made or say encouraged to start attending this course, so please do that. Then few words about the trainer, that is about me, and tag me and iTech Analytics Solution. See, there are a lot of benefits. What I'll tell you. One is I have more than 2,500 connections. One is you will be recognized. And suppose if you post your profile or something, someone, I can also recommend you. And they'll also know that you're actually actively participating in so many activities that is in these kind of analytic related things. Okay. Right. Okay. So what I actually prefer is, see, there are 2 things. Don't think that, only it is for you, what we are actually doing. It is helpful for us also. Very frankly, this, we are doing that so that we will also grow along with you people. And we'll also grow along with you, and you can also grow along with us. It's like if you post these certificates and all, so people will feel that, okay, this is a good institute. Let me be very frank. I'm not, say, a few days back, I attended one session actually. In that, one person was telling that I have the intention of, making 1 million people become the experts or something. Okay. The mission. Okay. He was using that word. What is that? I am in the mission of, making 1 million people experts. That is my aim. See, I don't have that kind of thing. Let me be very practical. See, even we have to grow and you also have to grow. If you want to, give some comments to me or say, I want to get benefited, then I should also give you something which is useful for you. Then only you people also will be happy and say something about me. I don't want to impress you something saying that I have one mission of 1 million people I'll make experts. It's not so possible. Those are all, I don't know whether it's true or not. I don't want to do that. Let me tell you very frankly, if you actually post this certificate and put some comments on this particular subject, okay, so that will be actually helpful for people who come and who can actually view that. And if you actually tell about me something good, people will actually come and take some trainings from us as well. So it is like win-win situation. So I don't want to say that, this is very useful for you only. I'm trying to give something useful for you. So same thing, I'm also expecting that you'll do something good for me as well. Okay. Tag me so that 100%, people will actually start watching, because I think there are some people who attended my 5 days session. Okay. There are a lot of people who are certified. They actually, posted that. Even I recommended, I also posted in my this thing, my LinkedIn. So many of them actually got recognized, and maybe not today. Okay. Tomorrow you might get recognized, or say you might get some calls from some companies or something. I'll also help you in growing your network as well. So you can grow the networks as well. Okay. So the certificate will be given tomorrow. So tomorrow, what you can do is take some time. Okay. People, I'm taking so much of time to prepare all these contents. It's not so easy. So you can take some 5 minutes and post about the topic what you have attended, and also about me, and tag me. Okay. Also the company, so that in the company also we have a lot of say followers, so they can also actually see, and we can also recommend your profile to the HRs. Okay. All right. So there is one more sales thing. What is that? I'll not talk about that today because there are very less people and I know so many of you, so I don't want to go to that topic now. But for this certificate thing, you just do it tomorrow. All these things will be available. This is given only for those who attend the sessions both the days. Okay, the certificate as well as the book. People who don't come, people who have not attended, they'll not get this. Only for those who have to come, I'll just give this book as well as the certificate. So please attend tomorrow as well. Okay. All right. So I'll just stop here for the day. This presentation, I'll be sharing it with you people. And the certificate will be given only tomorrow after. I'll give you the link here. We have the link here. So I'll be sharing that link in the session itself so that you guys can actually fill that, details. I will send the certificate. So after that, you can post it. I'll also share this textbook, whatever is there, that I'll be sharing it with you so that we can use that with data. It's not just only PDF, it's with practice files. Right? Okay. So I'm closing this session as of now. So I want all of you, okay, who are there, I think some people are there still. I want all of you just put some words about this particular webinar, what you attended, the first session. How did you feel? Just some 2 sentences if you put, I'll be very happy. How did you feel about this session, weekend with experts? How did you feel about this? Thanks, Pinto. Thank you, Zamir. Others, Aditya, thank you. People take some time, at least, we are doing so much. I'm just asking you, just 1 minute enough. Say these people have sent, that's enough. That is like encouraging for us. See, these people have not taken much time. Just few, seconds, that's all. Okay. It's like you're encouraging us. Thanks, Aditya. Thank you so much, people, all of you. So please be active and try to encourage us more. Thank you, Venkatesh. Thank you so much. Thank you. So this is what we expect. Okay. See, we are not expecting anything from you people. I'm not asking you to pay for this entire session. Okay. So to prepare this, we actually have to spend so much of time. We're just asking 1 minute of yours to encourage us. That's it. Thanks, Bharat, Akila. Thank you so much. Tomorrow, for sure, you'll enjoy the session. I want all of you to be on the session. Okay. Right. So thank you so much for attending the session. See you guys tomorrow with, very interesting topics, that is advanced charting techniques. Okay. Take care, all of you. Bye bye. See you tomorrow.